John, we are live. Are you ready to do episode 5 of this craziness?
I'm absolutely ready.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and get this sucker started. Welcome back, everybody, to Error 404. That's not our typical opening, and that's mainly because I hit the wrong button. But you know what? It is what it is.
I was like, did I do that?
Okay, fine. I make mistakes. Listen, fine.
I like the gravel crush at the end, like a mountain.
I really do got to get that other one knocked out of there. Here, let me go ahead and delete that right now. All right, there you go. Delete that video. All right, so today we got a fun show. As soon as I turn off my notifications, because nobody really cares if other Twitch streamers are on, because I'm on right now. You get to come and see me on Twitch, and you get to see D-Flix on Twitch.
You can watch D-Flix Twitch.
That's right. Well, he just took his medication, so maybe not today. But you are watching Error 404, where they call me Toby 2. Along with me, as always, is D-Flix, aka John Johnson. And this is where we talk about movies and comics and all sorts of stupidness. And eventually we talk about TikTokers that aren't worthy enough of our presence, and then tell them how great they are.
Once again, do not back anything the man says ever. I'm here, but a different opinion.
So I have had an extremely busy past weekend. Took a trip up to Nashville this past week and sat down with the Regulators and Slow-Mo and the Rebel Scum and OG Taco and Silverback Mel, and we the record label that we talked to was Average Joe's, and we did some comedy skits, audio comedy skits for them to use on their next album in between the songs, and then kind of discussed a little bit of going on tour to help them promote the next album. So it'll be exciting.
Cool.
Which they'll all be able to go, because I think the majority of them have quit their jobs to be full-time social media streamers, whereas I'm 45 and did not ever plan on doing that.
Yeah. I was fighting a werewolf in my living room.
Well, I remember when I got a hold of you, you're like, I gotta go. I got a werewolf I gotta take care of. What was that all about?
It's for the Sin Eater. The werewolf was actually the good guy, and I was doubling as the bad guy as well, like a kind of a computer generated monster. And I didn't win. Spoiler.
This is a spoiler. I didn't. Well,
werewolves are stronger than floppy disks.
It's not a spoiler if people aren't going to see it for 3 years, John.
Oh, that's a good point.
People will forget by then.
Yeah.
But you had some hair-raising worries and news when it came down to speaking of doing your filmmaking. You had some worries this past week as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I can't mention the actual site itself because I don't want to lose my standing at this point. But there was a site, a streaming service, a very big one of the top 3, that removed 3,200 filmmakers for quality control. And they didn't tell anybody ahead of time. You just basically logged on and saw if you had an account or not, or if you could still upload without soliciting a agent or a producer rep. And I survived it again. First time I didn't know it was happening. I was I was asleep, and then they were only removing movies that time, but this time they're actually removing people's accounts or like being able to upload.
Yeah,
and so the button would just go away. And
so did they approve Spade versus Psychotic?
I don't know. Still sitting.
Still waiting.
Still waiting. It's probably because you're not supposed to be in any films that are ever going to be released, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're the curse.
I am the curse.
You are the curse.
I did say that I'll never be in a movie from John Johnson that will be released.
This is true. You have said this.
All that filming. So far, I'm not a liar.
So far.
Yeah. So Penny Ashmore here. She brings up a name. This is one of the artists that I worked with. We actually filmed a video of us reacting to one of his songs. is Austin Tolliver. If you guys don't know him, he is on Spotify. You can go ahead and check him out. He's also on TikTok. So yeah, I'll be the song that he was doing. We're going to I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to figure out how to work the lyrics of his song into making a video with a wife on TikTok. So we can I'm going to try to promote his song. It's pretty good.
What kind of music? Like what's the style?
It's kind of like it's almost like Southern rock, pop, rap. It depends upon which artist you're talking about. He does a good mixture of a bunch of different stuff. He does some straight country. He does some stuff that's got country with some rap in it. He's got some country with some rock riffs in it. So, I mean, he kind of does a lot of it. And his dad is a former NFL football player. So I want to look into the last name sounds extremely familiar. So I'm sure I've heard of his dad. I just need to look it up, figure out who it is. So, yeah. If you like Penny, if you like his song "Tip My Hat," I'll go ahead and pop up her comment here so people don't just think I'm talking about nothing. But Penny, if you really like his song "Tip My Hat," you're really gonna like the new one that he's got coming out. So it's got a really catchy tune to it. I was like, oh, all it's gonna take is somebody making a dance to this on TikTok, and that song's gonna blow up.
Oh, sure,
It's one of those kind of catchy chorus lines where somebody's gonna be like, oh. It's gonna be.
He didn't just have a heart attack. He was literally doing one of the dance moves of the.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, I've got Parkinson's now too. So
you got too close.
I got too close. Osmosis.
Yeah.
So let's get into the meat of what Arrow 404 is about today. We are going to be reviewing an amazing movie. Well, I'm going to say amazing. I don't know his opinion of it. Well, I do, but I'm not going to make it sound like you guys know that I know. Because this is the first time either one of us have ever talked about it. But it is a movie called Willy's Wonderland. It is Nicolas Cage's newest movie. Essentially, well, you know what? I'll tell you what the premise is of it after I give you this clip with a zero notification of exactly what it's about. I'm giving you nothing, no premise other than here. Okay, now what I'm going to say first off, what I love about this clip is that I literally gave zero context as to what this movie is about. So just watching that clip, you may have zero idea of what's going on. But essentially,
or every idea of what the movie is about.
Idea. So if you just got done watching that and you haven't seen it yet, because we discussed it on the last podcast, we told everybody this is going to be the movie that we're going to watch and that we're going to be talking about. If you had the opportunity to watch it, awesome. If not, essentially the premise of this movie, if you've ever heard of or seen anybody play Five Nights at Freddy's, it's kind of that concept, but still not. Because I figured that's all that it was, but then come to find out the backstory behind the animatronics.
Right.
I mean, are we giving away any kind of spoilers on this since we've given them 2 weeks about?
Well, one, there's not a lot to spoil. I mean, anything you could guess the movie's about, it's about. It doesn't really do anything surprising, but it's still great for what it does. Like everything you expected to do, it does, and it does it so well that you're just kind of like you're happy at the end. You're just like, I got everything I wanted.
So, in your opinion, the most unexpected thing that you experienced with this movie before knowing anything about it, going into it, what would you say it would be?
Well, Nicolas Cage is known for Nicolas Cage moments. And in this film, he doesn't speak. So I just assumed there wasn't going to be a Nicolas Cage moment, but yet he found one playing a pinball machine. And it's just like, oh, that's Nicolas Cage in silent mode, but still Nicolas Cage. I think that was the most surprising to me. It's like, he had to request that. Yeah. He was just like, I want to have this scene so I can do my thing. And they're like, yeah, sure.
Well, and I was going to say the same thing. For me, it was Nicolas Cage not speaking.
I think because Nicolas Cage is a big movie buff, like he loves the old movies. I think he was going after old samurai stuff is what he was doing. Because like the biggest mystery to the movie isn't the animatronic creatures. They give that shit away right away. They're like, this is the story. This is everything. Now let's get to fighting. Yeah. The mystery is him. Like, who is he? What is he doing? Why is he there? Like, it's that old samurai style. Like, guy just rides into town and he's just like, all right, I'll kill everything. And then that's it. That's his whole purpose. Well, and
that's so. But you have an idea about this about the animatronics, but you don't get the
Yeah.
backstory on the animatronics until well halfway into the movie. Like, you just know that the animatronics are okay. These things are bad things that are coming to life, but you don't know why or what the backstory is until like at least easily a third into the movie. Until he's until he's already killed one.
To be completely honest, you don't really care. Like, that's just like, you know, what is it, a demon? Is it ghost, or is it whatever it is? Whatever made these things come to life? Like, you're just kind of like, that's just the filler. They only put that in there because they had to.
Okay, so pros and cons. What do you got? What do you got on the movie?
Well, pros is pretty much it has no brain and it's perfect.
Yeah,
like it's not there to make you think. It's there to like have you just enjoy the show, and it succeeds in that. And Nicolas Cage adds all of that to it. So that's the pro. The con, I would say, is some of the other actors in the film are like they're literally in like the worst movie. Like the acting from some of the other. Oh god, I'm gonna get myself into trouble.
Right here, I'll say it. The acting is horrible from pretty much everybody else in the movie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say my least favorite character was the female sheriff. She was horrible.
Oh yeah, she's a working actress too. She's been in over 200 films.
Yeah, she was atrocious. Like,
I actually thought the lead, the heroine, the younger action girl,
the girl?
I thought she wasn't very good at all.
I just love that once she was in the building, she just had this, who the fuck is this guy? Kind of like you could see it was like churning in her head the entire time. She's like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
Well, yeah, that I liked, but like it's just her deliveries. But when we started watching the movie, we weren't gambling on it because it wasn't really that kind of thing. But Jared and I were watching it together. And we paused it, and I gave him the order of how everyone was going to die, and I was right.
You're right.
Like, I listed out everyone's death in order, and like it just went down the same way.
Yeah, so it was. So I want to say my favorite. So I've got the same with the pros. I loved the lighting. I love everything. Like the way that the stuff was shot. The fight scenes were really good. Like they didn't it wasn't like too zoomed in with the fights. And I think they did a really good job. I love the fact that each one of the animatronics had like its own little catchphrase before it would kill you, before it would try to kill you.
One that gets out was it like a Mexican one?
Yeah.
I think. Oh.
And then the other thing would be one of my cons though is like you had all these other animatronics, and then you had one that legitimately was essentially like you could tell it was just a person with a giant head on its the female
they just ran out of money.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, well we're just gonna sculpt a big head and put it on it. Favorite scene in the movie?
To be honest, I think it's the girl versus the one in the street, like the one in the road, because the comedy to it was like they gave him more dialogue.
The Mexican one.
Was that
the Mexican guy?
Yeah, I mean, they just made that really funny, and and there was a bit of a moment because like when that's happening, you don't know if she's gonna live or not.
Yeah,
you kind of like it could go either way.
I just love that he kept pleading, "No mas."
Yeah,
no
he's like, no more.
he's like. No más, por favor. No más.
He's
just like rolling.
Yeah, he's trying to get away. So that I love that. And of course, every time Nicolas Cage fights one is always fun. Like it's Evil Dead influenced. It's like it's fun. My
favorite one is Nicolas Cage takes a break. He shows up. It's him the main heroine, and they're getting ready to fight.
Yeah.
And his timer goes off because he takes a break every hour, and he just looks over at her, hands her the knife, and walks the fuck out.
Yeah,
she's like, what? And then she just starts getting thrown all over the place until he comes back. The thing that
kills me about that one is I know that's a reference to something that I don't know. Like I know it's a reference to some movie or some old 70s samurai film. I know it is. Because it's too specific. So like I just don't know what it is, and it's driving me nuts. Because I tried looking it up and I couldn't find it.
So was he drinking sodas the whole time?
It was energy drinks.
Energy drinks, yeah, because it said something pop, right? It was something pop.
Yeah. Now the other thing too is the entire soundtrack is released on YouTube, including that theme song they had at the end with like the 90s band.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. The soundtrack is fantastic.
He had to pay some money to get that last song.
Yeah, I'm sure Cage paid for it too. Cage was just like, I want this last song.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he had to have been the one to pay for that.
Oh yeah, their budget wasn't there. But like the other fun thing about it, it's all built in a studio. You could tell because there's no ceiling, and when there is a ceiling, it's only 3 or 4 shots where they obviously put up a ceiling and took the 3 or 4 shots and took the ceiling down because the lights are above his head like this here, and then all of a sudden they're like from the side when he's looking at the ceiling, but then they're back above his head again. And then the actual entrance to the building, they just put up these it was a flat wall that had no entrance.
Oh yeah, it would just with 2 doors. Yeah,
and there's like boarded up windows on like a construction building. It's very strange.
The blonde haired girl, horrible acting, great body. Horrible acting, great body. I did like the black guy that was with her because he was pretty funny. He threw in some good.
He was the comedian. Like I knew he was gonna die. Actually, that was my only mistake. I thought he was gonna go after her versus first because I thought he would say something funny when she died.
I actually thought that they were going to do kind of a Friday the 13th style reference and just right through both of them.
I mean, you knew they were going together. The other thing was, if you were just coming across this movie without Nicolas Cage, it would make sense because this looks like a movie that you would just see with like that standard bad acting cast, something like Full Moon would put out. Yeah, and you'd be like, oh, okay, this is standard stuff. But then they put Nicolas Cage in it; it's a whole other movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just right from the get-go, he's there in the car, and there's road spikes in the middle of nowhere. I was like,
yeah.
And then the tow truck driver's like, yep, a bunch of punk kids took the road spikes out of a sheriff's car. I was like, yeah, because that's feasible. Right. That'll happen. I don't care how small your town is. Somebody's not stealing road spikes out of the back of the sheriff's car.
Yeah, no, but all in all, it's definitely worth watching. Even with everything we've said, when you sit down and watch the movie, you know what's going to happen. He's going to fight the bad guys. He's going to win. People are going to die.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think we're really giving anything away that isn't going to be like known from the moment you start watching it.
Yeah, it's not that part of it. It's the experience of the movie versus what's happening in the movie. Like the story. The story is so fucking secondary. Even fourth area or something like that.
I will call bullshit on him being able to get that bathroom that clean though.
Oh yeah, that was obviously they replaced the set.
Yeah, there's no way.
They just took the dirty one out and put a new one in. Yeah. Well, then again, he is a samurai. Maybe he's got an ancient technique.
Grimwolf says, "Note to self: return road spikes." Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, honestly, I'm going to give that movie for watchability. I'm going to give that movie an 8 out of 10. That's just a fun.
Yeah.
Like. I'm looking for something to do. I need something that's entertaining. I need something I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, I'm putting that movie in.
That's one I would definitely buy. Like I would because you're hanging out with some friends and you just want like something to pass the time that you don't have to pay a lot of attention to.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Just for me to rent it, it was $20.99.
It's because it's pre-order. Like essentially, they're doing that thing now. They said it was going to go to theaters. It wasn't going to go to theaters. That movie's never going to theaters. But but yeah, in about like 6 months, it'll be like $3.99 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I give it about the same. I give it about an 8.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. So if you guys have not seen it, again, the name of the movie is called Willy's Wonderland. It's with Nic Cage. It's available for you to pre-rent, I guess you could say.
They have a weird name for it. It's like pre-release or something like that.
Yeah. But you can watch it on Amazon Prime. If you want to spend the money, or you can wait until it comes out and rent it for less. I didn't have a problem with it because of how excited this guy over here was. I was like, no, I'm spending the money. I got to see what he's so excited about.
Yeah, it was worth it.
So, moving on. What do we got next?
All right. So, because we did Willy's Wonderland,
oh God,
I was kind of thinking of a generalization of like last time we were talking about best action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best kill you've seen in a horror film? Like, what's one of the top like kills of all time? Or one of them, at least.
The director's cut of Jason killing the camper, the camp counselor in a sleeping bag.
Part 7?
Yeah.
Where he takes and just beats it against the...
Yeah, but the director's cut is like, he's doing it for like a full like minute and a half. He must have swung that sleeping bag into that tree about 8 or 9 times.
That was Kane Hodder's first one, I think.
Yeah, that was Kane. And doing some research, come to find out, people had to like directors had to like hold Kane Hodder back because they said once he gets into character, he'll break down the wall and
my shoulder. Like Kane stopped me from getting into a tussle, and he palmed my shoulder, and my whole body just went. Bleh. Like he was like, yeah. There was no like he just like just poof, and he's like,
they said he's an extremely like method, like aggressive actor when it came to being Jason. Like he was all about. He's like, I'm gonna go kill some people from real.
Yeah. He wears in normal life. He's kind of a germa guy. He doesn't like germs. Yeah. He's got these gloves he always wears. It just makes him look even more intimidating. He's just got the little fingerless gloves. He's just like, hi, I'm Kane Hodder. And just like swallows your hand.
It's just like meeting the Undertaker the first time. Hi.
Hey, hi.
But I would have to say that's probably my favorite, most brutal death that I've seen. Like, if we're talking like old school, like gore horror, that's it. Like, I love that. I just love the brutality of it.
I think for me, I'm going Nightmare, but I think 3, when he took the veins out of that kid and made him a puppeteer.
Oh, made him a puppet. Yeah, the Sleepwalkers.
It was painful. It was like scary.
Yeah, that was Dream Warriors, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Darabont's one. Yeah. The other thing that I found out recently is that the Nightmare on Elm Street films and the Friday 13th films had a horrible time with the NC-17 rating system.
Yes.
They would get X all the time. So what they would do is shoot one, because the way the MPAA would work is that you would submit your film and then they would just tell you to cut. So they wouldn't say what to cut out. They would just say you need to cut something out of it. So each one of these movies would shoot something so heinous and so disturbing that they would immediately they say cut it, or they say cut something out. They'd cut that scene and then they would get their R, but they're afraid if they submitted it without it, they'd have to cut something they wanted.
Yeah.
I want to see those scenes so fucking bad. Like, I want to know what they put in there. And this is apparently a standard thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, but they've never released them.
And it's hard to, it had to have laxed up since then, because I don't know if you've seen the remake of I Spit on Your Grave.
No, I have not.
Holy shit. That is horribly violent.
Well, a lot of, unless you're going to you're getting a theatrical release, I think a lot of films aren't even going through the MPAA anymore because they have distributor ratings now, which is like you just give it to yourself. So like, MA or whatever it is, or mature. Okay.
Grimlock Smash says non-horror, but the church scene in Kingsman. If you were ever going to ask me what my favorite action scene or action sequence in any movie ever was,
we did a couple of episodes ago.
That would be my choice right there. The church scene in Kingsman.
Well, here's one. What's a death that's not in a horror film that like was your favorite like action movie death? Like
Oh, you're gonna have to give me a minute on that one. I think you'll have to go first because you sound like you already have an idea.
Oh, there's a couple. I mean, it's hard because it's always split up between the one-liner and the like it's either like the one-liner death. But in RoboCop, when Ed 209 guns down that guy and like drop the gun and like he doesn't drop, he drops the gun. It's like and he gets so many bullets in him.
Oh yeah,
for like an hour.
Oh, you're talking at the very end, the guy that was in charge of
at the beginning when he's like they're doing the test on Ed 209, and said, just take the gun and like not Dick, you're fired, but like the very beginning was guys like he's like okay, drop the gun, and then it's like put the gun down. He's like I did. It's like he tried to get away.
It's like and they finally shut down Ed 209. He's like they're like we're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, and then we need a RoboCop.
I'm gonna have to go with honestly, I have to go with Hans Gruber's death in Die Hard.
Oh yeah, where they didn't tell him.
Where they did not tell him, hey, we're gonna drop you. I mean, it was only like a 6-foot drop onto some pads, but they did not tell him.
The other thing they do with that is the way they make you look like you're falling a large distance is they pull the camera away as you drop. Yeah. So it looks like you're falling like a long way, but they're going to count to 3 or something, and they're like 1, and just let him go.
And he's just
that, And if they put it in such slow mo too, he's like,
he's just like,
it's so good.
That's my favorite. That's got to be my favorite death scene, and you don't even get to see him die. You just
No, you never see him hit.
You know, you do see him fall like 9/11 style, but you don't like see the.
All right. So what would be like a favorite one-liner death? Like the death itself might not be that important, but like the one-liner that said right before.
Oh God. I don't really remember the one-liners all that much. I mean, you got your famous ones, you know, like Arnold with his "Hasta la vista, baby" and things like that. But
right, Arnold's got mine.
I'd have to actually say I know the movie. I just don't remember what the quote was, but it was in Hard Target with Van Damme.
Yeah, Sam Raimi produced that one.
Yeah, I just don't remember that. I don't remember the line, but it was just horribly cheesy, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When they're like that,
I love the cheesy ones, like the really cheesy ones.
Commando is just like, remember I said they kill you last? I lied. And then there's that scream from the guy, like,
oh yeah, like, where he's holding him up. And he's
he's holding him up the thing.
You remember when I told you you'd be the last one to die? I'd kill you last. He's like, yeah, you did say that, didn't you? He's like, I lied. And he just dropped it. Oh!
It's a scream that's so terrifying. He's really like the actor really gave it his all.
They always give Arnold the good cheesy, like,
yeah,
the one-liners, just like the guy where he's like, he's in the plane and he's like, same movie, gives him the back elbow, shatters his nose, kills him. He's like, don't disturb him. He's dead tired. And I'm like, oh God.
Well, that was really I think Commando was the start of it, because like Chuck Norris and like they didn't really speak when they killed people. They would just like go and then just shoot you. Like that was their Charles Bronson way. And it wasn't until Arnold that like you started getting those one-liners, and then everybody was doing it.
Oh, Laura Bird brought up a great death that's not from a horror movie. This is excellent. Leon from this is from Matilda when he hands over. You've seen that, right? The professional.
Oh yeah, The Professional. I didn't. Okay, that's
where they roll him over and he goes, "This is from Matilda," and it's just like a handful of grenade pins.
Oh yeah, and once again that slow motion Gary Oldman it's just like
if you know just speaking of Gary Oldman, he's got to be my favorite. He's got to be my favorite movie villain actor. He is a chameleon.
Absolutely. I mean, he's played a little person. He's played a black man. I'm
still not saying he was playing a black man.
They have lines.
Just because he calls the other guy a white boy doesn't mean that he.
No. There's dialogue in the film where they talk about it. Like they actually make it like he looks pretty white. He's like, well, his dad was a blah blah blah. Like they have lines.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But no, I mean, he could basically anything. He's been Dracula with cinnamon buns. He made cinnamon buns scary. Like he looked at Princess Leia and says, "I can do that, but scary."
Yeah.
And like,
you're talking about what was it? Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula, right?
Yeah. Francis Ford Coppola's, where he had those giant cinnamon buns.
Yes, he had the great big white. But he played three different characters, all the same Dracula, but three different types of three different forms of Dracula in that, and each one of them was so vastly different that you couldn't tell it was him in each one.
Right. So do you remember the scene where he comes out, he's biting Mina, and then all the boys run in, and Van Helsing's there, and he comes down from the ceiling, and they have that big showdown?
How mad are you going to be?
You've never seen it.
When I tell you, I haven't seen the movie.
This I would not expect you to have seen.
Okay. All right.
This is a little different. But anyways, there's a big moment where Gary Oldman stands off against Anthony Hopkins. And the two actors had never worked together before and didn't want to work. They didn't want to see each other until they did the scene. They went so big that they had to shut the set down and get them to calm down and do the scene again, but pull it back. Like
really?
They were, apparently they got so hyped up that when Dracula, they got so into it that they're like, I can't use any of this. We're literally in Dragon Ball Z right now. They're like,
I want to see the outtake for that. I want to see the unused.
They don't release it. I know. It kills me. I want to see that.
Anytime you hear about something that happened on film that they're like, we're not using that you immediately get that mindset of I need to see that.
Oh yeah. Well, just for learning purposes alone.
Like, I mean, you're talking about two epic actors.
Yeah, and
You're
they
saying
knew it.
they both went too hard. Like
moment. So they were just like, we gotta make this good, and so they just kept hyping it up, hyping it up, hyping it up. They wouldn't talk to each other. They wouldn't look at each other until that scene, and then they were just like, "Rah!" And like, just like, I can't use any of this. They're literally kamehamehaing each other.
just now, God damn it! Now I'm picturing Anthony Hopkins.
Oh,
He's like, "Are you ready, Clarice?" Like,
it's the thought of a whiteboard day.
Here's the other. Okay, so we discussed that movie, right?
Yeah.
And you told me, like, hey, you're gonna see like a lot of really big names in there, but what you didn't tell me is like, hey, by the way, just so you're aware, 7/8 of the big names you're gonna see in this movie, they're all gonna die within the first 15 minutes.
Well, there's no fun in telling you that. Like,
well,
that's the fun of the movie.
Because I know I kept voxing you, and I was like, "Oh my, holy shit, is that Samuel L. Jackson?" You're like, "Yeah, don't get attached." I went, "What?" And all of a sudden, God damn it! It's like a fast forward version of Game of Thrones. It's just like,
oh yeah,
everybody dies.
Everybody's dying. Like, I know that guy. I know he's gone.
I know he's gone. Like, apparently, he wasn't a big enough name for this. And you're like, no, none of these guys were big names. But when this movie was filmed, I was like, oh yeah, this is a while ago.
True. Yeah, most of them weren't. But the biggest name was Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt was originally offered Christian Slater's role. Right. He said he didn't want to do it. So they said, "Can I be the pothead on the couch?" And he's like, "What?"
He played such a good stoner, though. Like, he really did play a perfect stoner. He's like, nah, he's not here, man. Like, he's just, he's like trying to look around him and watch TV.
Oh,
he's like, yeah. He goes, you want to hit? And they're like, no. He's like,
no, they don't just rack the gun. They just go like,
yeah.
And he's like,
he goes,
oh.
And he just goes, oh. Okay. Well, he's not here. Do you know where he went? Yeah,
Floyd. That was his character name.
Yeah, he's like, he went down the street or something. Hey, do you guys got like a smoke on you? He was just so oblivious to who these people were.
You hear Michael Ravenport bitching about Floyd for like the first quarter of the movie without ever seeing Floyd. Like, he always complains, like, he's on the toilet, like, yo, no fucking toilet paper, Floyd. Like, he's just yelling at this guy that's not there. And then when they reveal it, it's Brad Pitt. And then Val Kilmer was Elvis, always out of focus. Like, I think Val Kilmer just for that.
But once you mentioned that it was Val Kilmer, and there was one scene where you could see him from like about the tip of his nose down. And once you mentioned it, I was waiting to just catch a glimpse of any part of his face. And once I saw it, I was like, yeah, it most definitely is Val Kilmer.
Now, I don't think we chose our movie for next time, but we should probably pick one, I think, before the show is over.
I agree. Do we want to go newer or older?
Let's go newer. What else? What's come out recently that? Well, there's actually. Have you seen King Kong versus Godzilla?
I've seen the trailer. The
I've only seen the trailer too.
Yeah, the movie's not out yet.
It's not out yet. Oh, it's not out yet. Well, we'll get back to that. Should we let the audience? Oh yeah. You guys throw out some movies and see which ones we haven't seen. That's a good idea.
Yeah. How about the this time we let the people, the viewers, pick our next movie. Now it's got to be a fairly recent movie that you guys are assuming that we haven't seen.
Well, if it's newer, I probably haven't.
And we're not going with Soldier, Delvis.
As in,
I love that movie with Kurt Russell, Soldier.
You know, he broke his foot on that movie and wouldn't tell anybody so he wouldn't get fired.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, I love Kurt Russell.
Now, I am going to put something out there that D-Flix found out the last time that we, not the last time that we chose a movie, but the time before that, is I have severe ADHD. Okay.
Slow-paced movies aren't going to work for me.
So with that in mind, slow-paced movies, like somebody's like, oh, The Notebook. There's a reason I haven't seen The Notebook yet, because there's no way I'd be able to sit through that.
Right.
Okay.
Demolition Man.
What is wrong with Jesus? This is Toby's Navy's in here. Listen, we said newer movies. Grimlock, do you have any idea when Demolition Man came out? It was before you were born, you young bastard. Like, newer movie. We're talking like what within the last within the last what 2-3 years, we'll say.
Yeah, I don't know what Long Live the King is.
Long Live the King. Are we talking about Lion King quotes?
I don't think so. I think
Jeremy Irons, another amazing bad guy.
Oh yeah, and good guy. He was a great Aramis in the Iron Man and the Iron Mask.
Oh yeah.
But while we're doing that, while we're looking for a movie, our next subject is,
what do you got?
What is your earliest favorite YouTube memory? Like, what is the earliest YouTube video that you remember seeing that you liked, that introduced you to this whole new way that we present media to people?
Oh,
like what's an early one that you remember, or a couple of them?
Holy shit!
This has been 2006, most likely, when you saw it.
Chocolate Rain?
Yeah, that was back then. That was it. Yeah.
Chocolate Rain? Yeah,
I
Chocolate Rain.
Was Where the Hell is Matt? Which was this guy just doing this dance in like all these different locations around the world. And then Charlie the Unicorn. Or is it Charlie the Unicorn?
God, Charlie Unicorn.
Yeah.
It's a Leah Flaredon, Charlie.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, essentially, it was like Adult Swim was kind of like just, that's kind of what it was, like an Adult Swim clip.
I think what we're going to do is I'll probably end up, I'm going to write down some of these suggestions.
I have not seen the new Invisible Man.
I have not either. John, talk about it. Talk about Plan 9 or something for a second.
Plan 9 is available on Amazon Prime. The Spooky Tales is available on YouTube right now. Let's see. I'm
going to write down some of these so that we can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up the trailers for these, and John and I will base the movie that we're going to watch based on the trailer.
Okay. I don't think you have to pop up the Invisible Man. I'm familiar with that one. Unless you haven't seen the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer for the new one.
It's the new. They originally were doing they were trying to do the Dark Universe, which they failed twice. Like the first one they did was that Dracula Untold and didn't do well. Then they tried the Mummy, which didn't do well, and so now they started again, but on a lower budget with.
But you know what? I liked the Mummy, the one with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but it didn't hit the way they wanted to build a whole universe off of.
Yeah.
But the Invisible Man is the new one starting that, like a lower, darker horror version of it. I definitely do want to see that one. The Marksman, I'm not too familiar with. Is that the sequel to the?
So the Invisible Man, the new Invisible Man, is that going to also have what was the actor's name played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
No, not Russell Crowe. This is literally starting from scratch. It's supposed to be more of a horror movie kind of thing versus the action adventure that the Mummy was. Oh,
okay. Well, that sucks.
Also watching Skeleton Key. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. I recommend watching Spade Fable on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard it's good.
And just keep watching it over and over again so that in 2 years when Spade versus Psy comes out, you're not lost as to what's going on.
Right. Bad Boys for Life. I have not seen the third Bad Boys.
I cannot get into Bad Boys. I tried watching Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2, and I don't know what it is. I know it's an action movie. I just could not get myself into it. The only part that I was ever able to get into was I think it was Bad Boys 2, where they met the daughter's boyfriend at the front door.
Oh yeah.
And Will Smith is acting like the drunk uncle.
Right.
Pulls the gun out and he's like waving it at him. The kid's like, he's like, who? He's like all sad and everything. No, sir. He's like, okay, because I ain't afraid to go to jail again. Like,
yeah. I love the first one. Like the first one, if you just turn the sound off and just watch it, it's a beautiful film. Like it's shot
That was Michael Bay, right? The first one.
Yeah, it was his first directorial debut.
But the second one wasn't Michael Bay, correct?
It was not. He produced it.
But maybe
it was. Maybe it was.
I know. I want to say it was Corridor Crew was talking about it, and they were talking about how so many people try to emulate that Michael Bay kind of like pan around, the low to high angle and the slow kind of rotation. And just they said, when it's Michael Bay doing it, and when somebody's trying to emulate Michael Bay.
Sure. I mean, his first 3 films, The Rock, Armageddon, and Bad Boys, were just stunning. Like the music was so different, and he took literally comedians and made them action stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, you're now action stars. Ben Affleck, you're now an action star. Like Nicolas Cage, you're now an action star.
And then he made Transformers.
And
then he made Transformers.
Here's my impression of Transformers fighting.
I know somebody got hit with an elbow. I don't know who.
Somebody got hit somewhere.
There's a new Jeepers Creepers?
Like part 3? I saw 1 and 2.
Wait, there's a Jeepers Creepers part 3?
It has to be. They're saying a new one.
No.
2 was a long time ago.
They're not going to possibly make another one of those.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, I'll tell you what. Like, I loved Jeepers Creepers. The first movie.
Yeah, they're saying it's 3.
Until they ran him over like 4 or 5 times, and he sprouted wings. I was like, okay.
Well, 2 I thought was hilarious. Like just 2
was funny
so quickly. Yeah.
Like one of my favorite scenes in 2 is when they like get into the bus, they wrap the wings around the one kid, and they rip his head off, and he's just looks like he's doing. It looks like he's doing a TikTok dance with just no head, and then he just drops.
There were 8 Trevor movies, yes, and actually the last one is very, very good.
I have not seen the last one. Is that the one where they're in the Arctic?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
God, okay, I'm gonna have to watch it then.
The one before it wasn't very good, and
I like the one that they had in the Wild West.
That was 4. That was good.
Yeah.
5 was when they introduced Jamie Kennedy, and it wasn't great.
Well, it's Jamie Kennedy. He's not great.
Well, he's in the snow one, the new one, but they did it right. It felt right.
Okay. Oh, the sister comes back from part 1. Okay. So right now I've got 5 different movies that we could watch. Do you want me to key up some of these? I
mean, yeah. I mean, it looks like right now I'd be a toss up between Jeepers Creepers or Invisible Man.
You want to go with one of those 2? My biggest fear is that Invisible Man will be slow.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers is probably going to be more intense than Invisible Man. Invisible Man is probably going to be slower pace.
Is the Invisible Man out?
It's been out for a while, yeah.
Okay, so I'll probably end up having to cut these trailers out, but
yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, apparently I have seen this trailer. I just don't remember. Wait, is that? Okay, that's not Kristen Stewart. All right, cool, sweet. All right. Is Universal Studios gonna yell at me because I play this?
I don't think it's Universal anymore, but probably.
Awesome.
I think it's Blumhouse.
Well, it's listed as it's underneath the Universal Studios YouTube.
Okay,
so
Blumhouse must be owned by Universal Studios.
All right, so here we go. Let's check this out. We'll check this. Well,
are you wearing a sweater and shorts?
What? No, I'm not wearing a sweater and shorts. What's wrong with you? Stop. Okay. So that looked like a movie that would be great to watch with a wife. She loves those kind of movies.
Yeah, it's definitely got the jump scare kind of factor. It's going to have a lot of slow parts that are building to the attack kind of thing.
Okay. What? Would that work?
What?
A silent zombie film.
I don't think there's been one.
Elvis is like, I want to eventually see a silent zombie film. Would that work?
It could work.
I think
actually,
part of the
I would do is just do somebody who's deaf, like they're under a zombie attack, but you're hearing it all from his point of view or her point of view, where they just can't hear.
So it's kind of like the movie Hush, just with zombies instead of a serial killer, or
right, versus people trying to be quiet. Like this guy just can't, or her can't hear, like, and so it was just terrifying because you wouldn't see them coming. Or hear them coming like right behind you.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
Okay.
There was in the book of World War Z, there was a samurai who was blind, and he was trapped on a mountaintop just taking out zombies. And like he kind of walked through his whole like how he did it and stuff like that without being able to see them.
Okay.
He could smell them because they're dead. So like a dead body stinks. They never get into that in like any of the zombie movies. Like if you walked into a house with a dead body, you would know you walked into a house with a dead body.
I wouldn't.
So Toby would be dead, but the rest of us would immediately walk in and smell that, and know.
Well, you know why I wouldn't?
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like in movies, they never talk about that. Like if a corpse is that decayed,
yeah, like they walk in and they're just like, huh, something seems off about this house. And then they find like
you would know if a corpse was in there.
Do zombies have the stench?
Yeah, well, the undead ones would. They're decaying.
So is that something that we need to cover in ELE then? At some point, do we need to make a reference to it? I don't think anybody ever has.
New subject. Spoilers.
Oh. 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 Okay.
New subject. Yes.
New story. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check out Jeepers Creepers 3.
Okay.
We're gonna see the trailer for that, and we're gonna see. This is essentially we decided it's gonna be one of the two, right?
Yeah, unless there's another one that you wanted to throw in the mix.
Wait a minute. This came out in 2017.
I believe it. I haven't watched movies in a while. Now I think they're gonna kill him with that handy axe that he's carrying around.
You think they're gonna kill him with his own weapon?
That's what do you have anything that can kill it? And then all of a sudden he's got this medieval axe. That's my guess.
But here's the thing. Okay. Surfer81 says compared to the other two, it sucked, which is even better because John and I are all about watching horrible fucking movies.
Yeah.
One of these days we have to do. One of these days we're going to have to do, and we're not going to be able to do it anytime in the next throughout March because in March we'll be lucky if we can film even 2 Error 404 episodes because I'm in training for 2 weeks and I'm gone in Virginia for a week. So for 3 out of 4 weeks in March, I'm out. I'm not available. I'm gone from the 28th essentially through the last week in March.
Mm-hmm.
I might actually be gone. Actually, I'm here for the second week in March. I'm gone for the first week, here for the second week, gone for the third week.
We can also do an audio one. That's just like I could put something together. We can do a phone call and I can record it and do that if we want to do it like a little tap in.
No, the people need to see our faces. Like you like the audio because you have a face for radio. I like the video because I have a face for
let's leave it there.
Radio as well.
Well, yeah, we'll find out. We'll take it as we go.
But I think what we need to do is we need to challenge the viewers to coming up with getting us to watch the worst / cheesiest movie that they can think of.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're huge fans of finding these screen gems that we think are just going to be these horrible movies. Come on, man. President's Day.
Well, yeah.
FDR.
So essentially, the way movies work for me is if it's really good, it's good. If it's really bad, it's good. But if it's just mediocre, like that's when I don't like them.
You have to go all in one way or the other. Are you making a bad movie and you know you're making a bad movie, so you're making it as bad as humanly possible, like over the top bad?
Yeah.
Or are you making a good movie and doing your best to make it as good as humanly possible, so it's over the top good? Because pretty much anything that's meh isn't really worth watching. But if it's so horribly bad, or it's just horribly funny because of how bad it is, or it's got certain parts, like President's Day is. When you mentioned we're watching President's Day, I was like, oh, I have to check this out, and I watched it, and I was like, this fucking movie is amazing.
Yeah, it was whoever's the one that found it. Like she found it first.
I mean, like when I was growing up, and when I was growing up, me and my friends' big thing was we all went to the movie store back when you could walk in and rent VHS tapes, and we'd all purchase a movie that nobody's seen. That was the rules. Nobody could have ever seen it. If somebody saw it, you had to pick a different movie. But the 4 of us would each choose a different movie that we thought would be the best movie that we watched that weekend. And 4 of us would choose what we thought would be the worst movie that we would see that weekend.
Right.
to this day, probably the worst movie, in my opinion, that I've ever seen was done by one of the greatest horror masters of all time, John Carpenter. Dark Star. That movie was fucking horrible. Now, it originally came out touted as a sci-fi horror movie. It's now being advertised like a year after it came out. They changed it to being a sci-fi comedy. If I would have known that it was a sci-fi comedy when we started, I probably would have enjoyed it for what they were saying it was. But they advertised it as a sci-fi horror,
right?
And it was so painful to sit through. They have a beach ball as an alien with fucking scuba flippers taped to the bottom of it, and they roll it across the screen, and that's supposed to be terrifying.
Yeah, but so I only argue with that because you say it's the worst movie ever made. I think there's way worse. Like I
never said that. I never said that. I said it's the worst. I literally just said.
No, that's what you said.
Movie
now
I've ever seen.
Yeah, but you before. Oh no, you said the worst movie. Like you said that you challenged me to find a movie that you would think is worse than that movie.
That I would think was worse than that movie.
Right, I'm still agreeing with that. I'm like agreeing with that. Like I'm saying that like. Again, well, I'm trying to remember the name of it. There was one movie I saw that
Okay, so Laura Bird brings up this movie, and I guarantee you've seen it. I fucking loved it. Black Sheep.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I loved that movie. That movie was so bad. It was another
right, like Zombie Beavers kind of thing.
Zombievers was amazing. Frankenfish is another one I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah.
So we're at like I think people would be challenged to find us a movie that we would really hate. Like we're just like, oh God, it's so bad. Or should we challenge people to find something that is so bad that it's good and it's something
that's
that
a harder
maybe
one to do. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's see if so let's shoot for the next week. Next week we're gonna do what? We're gonna do Jeepers Creepers. Is that what we decided on? Okay. So next week we're going to watch Jeepers Creepers 3. So if you guys want to, if you haven't seen it and you want to kind of keep up with what we're talking about, by all means, go ahead and check out Jeepers Creepers 3. The second week of March. I'm going to give everybody that much time. Yep. I'm going to give somebody.
I just got Toby to look at a little bit of that. Dead Alive.
Oh yeah.
That's you and the baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with Radioactive Dreams.
He's seen Dead Alive.
Yeah, so
I haven't
seen Radioactive Dreams. The other one he's talking about.
Yeah. So what we need to do is we'll give everybody a full week to try to find something that is so horribly bad it's good that you guys don't think that John and I have seen, and you come back to us next week during the show, and at a point in time of the show we'll kind of open it up for you guys to list the movies. John and I will go and do the same thing we just did. We'll look at trailers for all of them since we haven't seen any of them. Obviously, it's negated if John's seen it, which good luck on finding a campy, fun movie that John hasn't seen.
Yeah, you have a better chance if it's newer. I've not seen too many new films.
You're right. So if you guys find something like that and you want to bring it back for the next show next week, We'll open it up. John and I will watch the trailers, and I'll be like, "Oh God, I can't decide." I guarantee it's going to be one of these. I honestly can't decide which one of these I'm going to want to watch. I'm actually excited for this. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, that could be fun.
God, just think about. Let's hear. Wait, next week. So next week I'm going to be here, but the week after that I'm going to be in Roanoke.
Oh yeah, we could do it live together. We can do it together.
Was it going to be Roanoke or Richmond?
You said Roanoke.
Yeah. So I'm going to be up in Roanoke.
Yeah.
And you and I will be able to sit down and actually watch the movie together, probably like that Sunday night.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. And we can bring Royce in because Royce was like, "Hey, we all got to do something." Well, we're doing movie night at Toby's Hotel, and you're gonna fucking hate it.
No, Royce knows the drill. Like we did Staycay for 3 years. Like we watched some terrible stuff. What we got?
Grimlock asks, "Does John movies with Toby count since they won't be seen?"
Well, no, they can't be seen.
No, we can't show them to anybody.
No.
Like we don't
One
even
more
have
topic.
we don't even have a trailer.
Well, let's give our TikToker awareness.
Yes, absolutely. So this week, my TikToker that I'm going to put on showcase is we.art. She is phenomenal for a couple of different reasons. One, her energy. She's absolutely, she's so full of energy, and the music that she chooses is always really upbeat. She loves doing like the old 80s and like early 90s kind of pop music.
Yeah.
The way that she films is got so much different emotion in it. Like she really conveys, but her cosplay, her makeup effects that she does, extremely underrated. Like I loved when she during Christmas time and she had the lights going through.
Yeah.
And she had the lights like plugged in. She had the plug in, and those were absolutely Team Weeby. So yeah, I'm gonna say if you guys do not know we.art over on TikTok, you absolutely owe it to yourself to go and check out her content. She is extremely underrated, not just for the content that she does on TikTok, but for everything that she does along with Darkstone, myself, John, and she's a phenomenal human being in general.
Agreed. Mine is going to be Lisa Gale 66. A little bit more on the adult side of the comedy bit, but she does. She's got the comedy down. She just started writing it's just a series, which is Thoughts During Sex.
Oh God,
that are going to get her pulled eventually, but they are literally like they're so funny, and she's writing, performing, doing like everything. And
so wait a minute, you're saying she's in the mode right now, like catch her now while you still can, kind of.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like those things are they're good, but they're not TikTok friendly by any means. But no, she's like, I mean, her whole performance thing and all the different kind of voices that she can do, and her makeup as well. She does the makeup. Like her and we will get together and just do a design and then just go do a bunch of videos together. Or yeah, and
she was so good on Captain Quarantine too.
Oh yeah.
She plays a great ditzy blonde.
Yeah, and then the second part of Captain Quarantine, she was a joke bartender that was telling dirty jokes. That was awesome.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Was she writing her own jokes or was she getting them from somewhere?
I think she was getting those online, but the jokes she's been doing on her new TikTok, I believe she's writing. Like
maybe I need to get her to write something for Angel and I.
She writes naughty.
That was her point.
So Toby doesn't have videos get taken down from TikTok ever, so he is not worried about having videos taken down.
Toby just doesn't give a shit.
Actually, you've taken a shit in my house before. I've seen it.
I don't do TikTok because I get paid for it. I do TikTok because it's fun. So I can just move on to another account and keep doing it.
I disagree with all this, but we'll just agree to disagree.
He lives vicariously through me, guys. He wants me to do with TikTok what he thinks I should do with TikTok.
No, I don't want you to lose your damn account. That's all. I thought the one thing. It's the one thing I don't want for you to lose your account.
Dude, they already kicked me out of the beta. You know that, right? TikTok themselves kicked me out of the beta program a month after I started it. Oh. I got a notification saying the developer has removed you from the beta program.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I just got that notification while I was up with right before I left to go up to Nashville.
And this is why you probably aren't getting all those updates and stuff that you're the last one to get them.
Fuck them.
Well,
I mean, it's not. I'm not like one of these guys that's just going to get so upset because I know TikTok doesn't like me, and I'm fine with that. It doesn't stop what I do. I just have fun, man.
I'm not lying. Like on this one, like the videos you've been putting out recently, the duets and stuff like that, I've been enjoying quite a bit. Like it feels like old school. It feels like, which is weird that 2018 and 2019 is considered old school, but
we're the older guys on TikTok, man. We're not you and I. We're not the like you, me, we dot, Grimlock. We're not the COVID babies.
The COVID, yeah, the new guys.
There's so many COVID babies that just blew up on TikTok, and now they won't fucking leave.
Well, actually, most of them are getting removed, and they just keep coming back.
Yeah.
All right. Final subject, because we're at the end of the show. I want to make sure
we're 4 minutes past the end of the show. What do we got?
Well, what is your take on the experience of knowing that Spade versus Size on Amazon Prime right now?
It's not.
I posted a video when we started, letting everybody know. That's why I went upstairs for 10 minutes.
Is it up?
It's up right now, man.
Get that. What? Wait, what?
It's up right now.
Come on, you're fucking with me. Hold on, wait.
No, go.
Everybody,
check it out.
I am calling John Johnson a liar. You're going to see some weird stuff now that I brought up Amazon.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God. Wait, you can do a watch party on Amazon now?
That's new. I hadn't seen that.
Oh. All right, so everybody.
Yep. I posted it. I posted a video right before we started.
You asshole.
Yeah, that's why I was gone for 10 minutes. I was getting the video ready.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah, that's
yeah, you've been saying shit this whole episode. This whole episode you've been saying shit.
All right, well, everybody, Spade versus Psychotic is now available on Amazon Prime. Go ahead and go check it out. Show some love over here to D-Flix, aka John Johnson. Fucking goddamn boat drinks.
Uh-huh.
All right. So now that I've got egg on my face, son of a bitch, I got to come up with a new mantra now. I can't be.
Yeah, you'll think of something, I'm sure.
Wait a minute. It might still get taken down, so there's still a chance.
No, I think it's going to take it down.
Amazon's going to be like, you've seen this, right? Like,
no, they posted it after they executed all the people. So like they definitely reviewed it. Like,
oh, that's awesome. I might get laid today. I'm gonna have to try to go with it now. Like, obviously, the world is in my favor. Lottery ticket time. I might at least be able to grab a breast. Like, I feel like that's. That's the safe. I feel like that's a safe bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish you the best of luck on your boob grabbing experience.
Oh, so wait a minute.
She knew.
The betrayal I feel right now.
Oh no, we people. Remember the we people? This is the whole thing.
Team Weeby. What? Team Weeby is dead. That's not true. No, I'm just going to use that to torture John with forever.
Yeah. See,
all right.
I thought you were coming with something.
That is awesome. I am definitely gonna. God damn. Yeah, I gotta go make a video about that.
Yeah.
Ah, God. All right. My life has finally come full circle. John Johnson has officially made my childhood dream come true. I can no longer say I'm not an actor.
Hey, you heard that.
I can still say I'm not a good actor though. So he's like, God damn it. All right. So that's fucking awesome. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end the show on that because I don't know what else to say anymore. I'm beside myself. That like a dream has literally become a reality. I'm probably going to go watch it. I'm going to rate it. I'm going to give it like 1 star. Fuck this.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's a joke. Don't do that.
All right. I'm going to ask everybody this. I've got 24 people in here. Please, everybody go and check out Spade versus Psychotic on Amazon Prime. What's the total runtime on that? Is it 40? Was it 40 minutes? Huh?
46.
46. Okay. So 46 minutes. Go check it out. Make sure if you do watch it, give it a like, give it a good rating, leave a comment on it, what you liked about it. John and I will go through those comments, and maybe we'll talk about some of those comments and bring them up on the next show. Yeah.
Sure. That sounds good.
Okay. So everybody, thank you so much for your support. I am, they call me Toby too. I'm the embarrassed one right now. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, which you're probably already on one or the other. Also on Instagram and TikTok. And along with me, as always, is DFlix, aka John Johnson. You can check out his movies on Amazon Prime through Darkstone Entertainment, as well as on TikTok himself. So, yeah. I'm going to tell you guys, I absolutely love your faces. And make sure that you're always being good to one another. John, do you have anything to say to everybody?
Always remember to go fuck yourself.
Love your faces. And for God's sakes, make somebody smile today, would you? See ya.
Error 404 is now over. Time ill spent that you will never get back.